Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the third episode in my Oh The Shame series here on my channel. That name is inspired by Pumbaa, of course, from The Lion King, but also my makeup drawer of shame, the hoard of makeup that I have not used before. Now, last time you guys sent in some requests for products, but this time I did a roulette style selection. So I will insert the screen recording to the side of me. I did 4 categories: the eyeshadow palette, the base products, cheek products, and lips. For both base and cheek products, I rolled in 2 products, and I had to like keep rolling a little bit so that I didn't get, 2 bronzers or 2 primers. But for eyeshadow, I have 30 eyeshadow palettes in my collection that I have never used before. Let me know if you want a video on those palettes. But I got the number 16, which is the ColourPop Cashmere Forever. I believe this is a purple palette. I didn't even check before I pressed record on the camera. Yes, purples. That is going to be fun. For base products, I have 7 base products in my collection that I've never used before. I went with the numbers 2 and 4. So 2 corresponded to my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Soft Matte whatever primer. I just recently used up the mini I had of this product, so I'm excited to be busting into the full size. I know I really like this product, so I feel okay using this while also testing the foundation, which was number 4. I'm a little nervous about this foundation, and I don't typically like to test out a primer and foundation at the same time, because then I can't really determine what goes wrong, if anything goes wrong. So this is the Natasha Denona Transfer Matte Pore Vanishing Matte Foundation. I got this in a BoxyCharm, so I'm a little worried about the shade. It's 22W Light Warm. I think this is going to be more of a summer shade for me, but we're going to test it out today. It's okay if we look a little crazy. I don't have anywhere to go. For cheek products, there were 14 cheek products in my collection that I've never used before. First, I got the number 14, which was the ColourPop Super Shock Highlight in the shade Guilty Pleasure. This highlight is too deep for me right now, and I think it will be great for me in the summer, so hopefully, I don't think my face is going to match my neck by any means, but hopefully it won't look too dark on top of this darker foundation. We'll just give it a try. And then I got number 7, which is my Nabla bronzer. This is one of the newest products to my collection, so I'm very excited to be using that right away. And then I have 20 lip products that I haven't used yet, and I got the number 9, which corresponds to ColourPop Lippy Sticks in the shade Cookie. This is a matte formula, and I'm very excited about this. I was a little worried going into this that we might get some colors that don't really go together, which, we have a very warm looking highlight and then these crazy purple eyeshadows, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. I'm very excited. Let me zoom you in and we'll start with eyes. Okay, I do have my brows on and my eyeshadow and my eyelids are primed with my Milani primer. I'm getting low on this. I'm trying really hard to use that up. But let's bust into this ColourPop Cashmere Forever palette. I got this in a mystery box. And I actually have another one of these to throw in a giveaway hopefully soon. Giveaways are a little tricky to host. Like, it's not as easy as like, oh, I'll just give away some things, especially if an international subscriber wins, then it can be very costly. So I'm going to start off with the shade Madison here, this very vibrant matte on quite a small but dense brush, and I am just going to pack this into my crease kind of messily right now. We will blend it out with the lighter shade. I'm going to stipple this into my crease and outer V, and I'm going to bring it right into my inner corner. I've been kind of craving more of a halo eye situation. We'll see what we end up with. This is only like a 5-pan palette. There's only so much I can do. but I definitely wanted to go on the brighter side. This shadow is extremely pigmented and it's actually sticking onto that primer really well. I'm not feeling like I'm losing the vibrancy. Like, it really does look this color on my eyes, which I can definitely appreciate. Okay, now that we have that stamped on, I'm going to just swirl this on my little color switch thing and go in with Fifth Ave, the one that's beside it, and put this more on my outer V and start blending just a touch with this. Still using this really dense brush though, so it's going to pack on that color. And a touch of that on the inner corner as well. Now I'm going to go in with a fluffier brush, but one that still has some density to it. This one had, I just took the pigment off with my color switch, but it is stained a little brown. But this is definitely fluffier, but not as like flimsy as something like this. And then I'm going to take the shade Wanted, this lightest shade, and blend out the edges. I am really liking how this is looking. It is blending out fine. I think it's kind of fun that these purples are like very different tones. Like, this is a very bright, almost neon purple. This is more berry toned, and then this is more lilac. But on the eyes, it just creates some really interesting depth and dimension to this look. And it's not, they're not shades of purple that I would have paired together in my own collection, which is fun. I am going to go back in with the shade Madison a little bit, just because I feel like we did lose a little bit of that vibrancy through the crease. And just very gently tap that color back in. Now, I did forget my glitter glue, but it's already, you know, in the evening time for me, so I am going to go with grafting all over the lid, and then I'm going to pop Softy here right on the very center. This is like a pink purpley to blue, very fun. Okay, I really like how this is looking. I am going to take Softy here and pop that just very gently on the very center. That adds some really fun dimension. And I need a little brush. I'm going to take Softy and use that on my inner corner as well. We will come back to this for the lower lash line, but let's hop into the face. Alright, moving on to our base, I have the Fenty primer, as I mentioned in my intro. I am familiar with this product, but I've had like this one as a backup for quite a while, so it's technically in my makeup drawer of shame. So happy to be pulling this out to use. It's very hydrating yet smoothing on the skin. It says it's a soft matte finish and it does dry down, but I still find it to be quite hydrating on my skin, though I do have like combo skin, so I'm not sure how this would work on someone with a drier skin type than me. But I love the way that this primer makes my skin look. Alright, going in with what I'm most concerned about, this Natasha Denona Transfer Matte Pore Vanishing Matte Foundation in the shade 22W. Shake well before use. Oil free, no parabens, not tested on animals, keep out of reach of children. This is what the packaging looks like. It's very nice. I do have my Shop Miss A sponge. It is dirty, sorry. And also a foundation brush. Maybe I'll do half and half. I have the e.l.f. foundation blurring brush. I typically like to apply my foundation with a brush and then smooth everything out with a beauty sponge, but let's just give it a try. Oh my god. That is not the color that my skin is currently. Quite nervous. Okay, let's do a brush on this side. Oh no. The formula is very thin. It does have decent coverage. Definitely not my color. Bring it down the neck. That smells good. That's interesting. Okay, I'm very thankful that I'm familiar with the primer I'm using today. It is laying down pretty smoothly on my cheek area, where I applied the most of that primer because I have the most enlarged pores and texture like on the outer part of my cheek and then like across my nose. It is laying pretty well over here. Decent coverage, so this is with no foundation. This is with the foundation with the brush. However, it is clinging to some dryness I have on my forehead. So I think next time I use this, I will use a more like actual hydrating primer on my forehead, as I don't really struggle as much with pores and texture up there. But I don't know if you can really see. I can see if I get really up close that it is clinging to some texture and dry patches, like I said, that I have on my forehead. I'm actually pretty happy with it so far. I mean, it's been on my skin for like 2 seconds. Obviously not the right color. It is very yellowy warm. I'm more of like a neutral leaning warm, but I think with a fresh layer of fake tan, it might be a bit closer. I did tan over a week ago, so that's pretty much gone at this point, and I never tan my face, but it's definitely not matching my neck right now. Definitely way less coverage with the sponge, so I'm going to apply this as I typically apply my foundations, which is brush first and smooth out any brush lines with my beauty sponge, making sure to blend it over the ears and down the neck like I said. It dries pretty fast. Like what was on my hand is, you know, drying down pretty quickly. It's probably as this is a matte foundation. Now going in to smooth it with my sponge. I will say this is looking great over my pores. Now I would have to test this with no primer to be sure if this is, it is called the Pore Vanishing Matte Foundation, because the Fenty primer also has some blurring properties to it. Not a complete pore filling primer like the Benefit Professional or anything like that, but it definitely helps out. So it's hard to tell if the foundation is also doing that. I would call this medium coverage, definitely not full. You can still see some stuff going on over here. I'm actually going to see if this is buildable at all. I'm just going to put a little bit directly on my brush. I have the most scarring right here. Wow, definitely buildable. That was actually kind of impressive. Okay, pretty happy with that. Really quickly, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Camo Concealer and the e.l.f. HD Powder. And then we'll come back with some cheek products. Alright guys, I am back. Sorry about that. There was a brief intermission there for about an hour for dinner with the family. I was looking like this, yes. It's fine. I had a look at myself in natural light and in the bathroom light, and this shade match is definitely not it. It is super yellow on my skin. I do have neutral to yellow undertones like I mentioned, but this is just a little bit too dark, a little bit too yellow, but that's okay. I'm actually liking it more now than I did when I first applied it. I liked it when I first applied it, but it wasn't a favorite. It's still not a favorite, but the kitten's down here again with me. He seems to think filming is our special time to play downstairs. So, excuse the noise. This foundation has dried down to be like a powdery matte finish. I do not think somebody with dry skin will like this at all. I don't think anybody with dry skin would pick up a transfer matte foundation, but just to reiterate, I do not think if you have dry skin you will like it. On my forehead where my skin is more dry, more like kind of like above my eyebrows is pretty dry right here. It's clinging to some dry patches, and it feels like a powder foundation. It's honestly very strange. There's no transfer happening on my hands at all, which I can't say for a lot of my foundations. So it's looking pretty good. It's not creasing weird. I mean, I ate dinner and it's still looking perfect, except for the color, obviously. So feeling pretty good about that. Again, this is just a first impression. I will come back with full reviews. Actually, the next video in this series will be full reviews of the products I used in the last two. And then leave your suggestions for products down below for my next one if you're familiar with my makeup collection. And there will also be a Makeup Drawer of Shame update video. It's on the list. I'm all out of sorts with my schedule, so. For bronzer, I randomized the Nabla Skin Bronzing Sun-Kissed Effect Bronzing Powder in the shade Ambra. I believe this is the lightest shade. If it's not, I made a mistake purchasing because I meant to purchase the lightest shade as I am pretty fair skin tone. Let's try this BH Cosmetics No. 2 brush. This is from like the Rose Quartz collection or something. I'm very excited to be trying this product. It's just Steph inspired me to buy it. I'm intrigued by the baked gelée kind of formula. Steph actually just put this in her project pan to hit pan on, and here I am using it for the very first time. Alright, I was feeling like I might need a bit more of a dense brush, but this is actually working pretty well. I think I do want to try a more dense brush just to see how that goes. What do I have here? This e.l.f. blending brush I like for more contour products, but it will definitely pick up more. That is a really beautiful sun-kissed kind of color. I will have to try it with a foundation that matches my skin tone, obviously, but I mean, it's blending very, very easily. It has more of like a natural finish. It definitely looks like there's some glow to it in the pan as well. That's what I was expecting. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, kind of go in with this fluffier brush first. And then build up the color a bit more with this e.l.f. brush. I like that. All right, what do we think about that color? I really like it. I like the finish of it. I was kind of disappointed with the purchase of these Nabla products because I had to pay so much in customs to get them, but I'm really hoping I will like the actual products, and I will try purchasing more Nabla from a different website next time. For me, I think I bought these off of Beauty Bay. I think Beauty Bay is only going to be worth it if I make a very large purchase, which I didn't this time. I'm kind of feeling a little weird with my eyes unfinished, so before going on blush and highlight, I actually want to finish off the eyes with this really flat, detailed liner brush from Alamar. I'm going to go in with Madison. The font and the color they used for the names is really hard for me to read. And I'm going to stamp this. I should have zoomed you guys in, but you can see what I'm doing well enough just for the lower lash line, halfway across and really tight up against my lashes. I'm then going to take Fifth Ave and bring that on the inner part. And then I'm going to take this, the Vintage Cosmetics Company Step 3 brush. It's like a smudger brush with Wanted and buff that out. Okay, I know that this palette, or maybe it was the collection of these 5 pans, did not rank very well in, you know, like Angie's palette ranking for last year, and I think a few others as well. Angelica Nyqvist is who I go to most for eyeshadow recommendations, so I was a little hesitant to keep and try this after getting it in my ColourPop mystery box. But I really enjoyed my time with this. I do feel that it is a bit limiting, but for this look, I think it looks really well. It blended really easily, and I'm very happy with it. What do you guys think? For mascara, I'm going in with my ABH Lash Brag. All of the makeup products I used will be linked down below, of course. Not everything is a first impression, just the, what, six items that I drew in randomly. I actually want to add a liner to my waterline. This is the Annabelle Stay Sharp Waterproof Eyeliner in Ultraviolet. Annabelle is a Canadian brand, but it's like a bluish purpley kind of liner. I really like this. Alright, moving on to blush. I'm going to be using my ColourPop blush in I Need Space. This is in Deck of Panning, I think. It's in one of my projects. It is Deck of Panning, I remember. And I'm going to be using the Luxie 514 blush brush to apply this. I think this more mauve-y tone will look good with the purples I have on my eyes. I am a big fan of the blush on the bridge of the nose. Alright, next up I have the ColourPop Super Shock Highlight in the shade Guilty Pleasure. Again, I think this is going to be too dark for me. See how it has that dark base? But we're going to give it a try. It is this is like Champagne Pop, but a little bit darker and more intense. Like it has that like goldish base, but still peachy at the same time. I don't know if that made any sense, but can you see? Actually, I'm very surprised, honestly. That is beautiful, and it's not leaving a shadow. I don't think it necessarily, like, this is very warm toned. It doesn't necessarily go with this eye look, but I mean, that's what happens when you randomly select some products. Maybe I can add a little bit of this to my brow bone just to help tie things in a little bit better. Okay, this actually really surprised me. I'm a fan. The ColourPop Super Shock highlighters are some of my absolute favorite highlighters in my collection. I think this is my 4th one. So it was just a concern with the shade, but actually I'm pleasantly surprised with how this looks. Of course, the foundation is too deep for me, so again, I have to try this much like the bronzer on a foundation that matches my skin tone better. But right now, I'm very happy with that. I'm now going to spray my face with my Pixie Glow Mist. This is in a project pan, but also because this foundation is so matte and dry, I think this will help add some more life back into my skin. Pounce that in a little bit with my makeup sponge. And lastly, we have the ColourPop Lippy Sticks in the shade Cookie. This is a classic shade, but one that I have never owned. I love the ColourPop Lippy Sticks in general. I don't have anything on my lips right now. I feel like this is a like My Lips but better kind of shade. And there we have it. Here is what my makeup is looking like. I'm very pleased, honestly. So far, these Oh The Shame videos have been going so well, which I mean is obviously what I intend, as this makeup is what I bought and brought into my collection. I obviously hope I like it. It's not like buying a brand new product that you haven't seen reviewed yet and testing it out for the first time, if that makes sense. So what do you guys think? I'm very happy. So let's just recap things really quickly. We have the ColourPop Cashmere Forever 5-pan palette. I really enjoy my makeup look. I know these didn't get the best reviews. I do have a concern about staining, so we will have to see if this comes off tonight. But keep your eyes out. I hope to do another giveaway soon, and one of these will be included in that giveaway. I just am not ready to do so right now. I just shipped out a giveaway package from another thing, so we need to wait on that for a little bit longer. The Fenty primer, I am familiar with this product. I really enjoy it. I'm happy it got pulled in to this Oh The Shame roulette, because who knows how long it would continue sitting in my makeup drawer. Shame if I didn't force myself to use it, as I did just finish the mini size of this. So it's very smoothing, semi-hydrating on the skin. I really like this product a lot. The Natasha Denona Transfer Matte Pore Vanishing Matte Foundation. I only think you will like this if you have combo or oily skin like me. It dried down to a very powdery finish. I do need to test this out further. I need to test all of these products out further. This is just my first impressions. My pores do look really great, but it's hard to know. Like, the Fenty primer is also pore diffusing, and then this foundation is pore vanishing, so it's hard to know which product is making my pores look as great as they do today, but I'm very grateful either way. I feel like it's looking much better now that I have bronzer and stuff down my neck, and I'm really hoping this shade works better for me in the summer, but I'm still very fair. The Nabla Skin Bronzing Bronzer in the shade Ambra, I really like this. I think it does. It's that baked formula, so it does need a bit more of a dense brush, but that's fine. I just need to find which brush I prefer to apply this with. It worked both with a more fluffy brush and a more dense brush, but I think I got the most impact with that denser brush I reached for. Pleasantly surprised with this ColourPop Super Shock highlighter in the shade Guilty Pleasure. I thought for sure this would be much too dark for me. Again, I'm wearing a foundation that's too dark for me, so need to test no further. Hence a first impression. But I think it looks beautiful. I really love my makeup. And then the shade Cookie is a My Lips But Better kind of shade, a bit more peachy. The ColourPop Lippy Sticks matte formula, I really don't find all that matte. More like a satin matte finish. Very comfortable. I know I like the matte lippy sticks. I like all the lippy sticks I've tried actually. And I'm very happy to have this OG shade. This was in the Bestie in Show vault for holidays, and my husband got that for me for Christmas, so I'm very grateful to him. But that's everything for this installment of Oh, The Shame. I love this series so much, and you guys continually ask for me to film more. You guys know I have a lot of makeup that has yet to be used, but I just have too many video ideas and not enough time, and I don't film as often as I used to, so my channel has kind of become just mostly Project Pan updates, which is a shame, and I hope to kind of get back into the swing of things and putting out more content for you guys, more varied content. I love my Project Pans and they perform really well on my channel, but I love other types of content too. So I do want to incorporate more doing my makeup content because I have a lot of fun filming this. Let me know in the comments down below what products you want to see next time. You guys can see some of the palettes behind me. I think I will film a palettes I've never used before video, a Makeup Drawer of Shame update video. I don't know if those will be before I do another Oh, The Shame. Who knows? You guys let me know what you want to see down in the comments below, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!